Hi everyone, I'm going to show the usage of our Epson scanner using in-class computer. And, just have a look at the scanner. It's an Epson GT15,000, and I'm going to try scan A2 uh, kind of a picture, and I'll show you how to stitch it up on Photoshop. So first thing first, double click on the Epson scanner shortcut, and then select the GT 15000 and click OK. The dialog box will show up. So the first thing first, for an A2 size to be scanned using an A3 scanner, you need to do it double time. Meaning, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to just scan it this way, half of it. Okay, close it up. And first things first, what we're looking at is what kind of image would that be? Is it color, grayscale, or black and white? So in this case, it's a tracing image. So I will just click grayscale. The difference between grayscale and black and white is that black and white is a lot more darker, the contrast is more. Grayscales take into account of different range of black and white and gray colors. So generally, I'll just go for grayscale. And forget about destination. Uh, Under resolution, 300 dpi is relatively high already. But to be frank, for a large format printing, like if you want to print an A1, we would even recommend 150 dpi. So I'll go for 150. And under image adjustment, just keep it as by default. And what you can do is you can either preview. I will go for preview first. As you can see, the scan button is currently uh, deactivated. So have a look at the preview. So that's how the preview would look like. This is half of the A2. So if you are happy with it, just click scan. And a call up dialog box will be in front of you. So basically you need to specify where you want to save this image. So you can save it under my documents or my pictures, which is relatively a default folder created by Windows. Or you can click other and specify, like let's say you want to save that desktop, which is what most students would do, and click OK. In fact, it's already specified for you, so you just need to click other. And you can prefix a name of your own, let's say key image. And the type of format is a JPEG, bitmap. Generally, we just go for JPEG for your primer projects because you really don't need such a high resolution like TIFF. TIFF is the highest resolution, so you don't need that because it's really heavy on the file. So just click JPEG, and option just clip it by default, and that's it. Okay, and scanning will start. Okay, as you can see that the image is already there. Double click it to have a look at the details, zoom in. Okay, looks good. Close it. Now let's do the other half. I'm gonna adjust the camera angle. Okay. To do the other half, simply turn the image around and scan the other side. Okay, so Since you have already done all the settings, all you need to do is to scan it. Okay, everything remains the same and okay. See, the other part is here. So now we have done the scanning. Let's go into Photoshop. We just close everything. Call up Photoshop. Photoshop can be found under the application folder. As you can see, one of them here. Okay, so double click it. The program will show up. Apologize for the reflection on the computer screen. But the first thing you do is you open up the files that you have scanned. Click the file and on the computer keyboard, press Ctrl and select the other one. This will do some kind of a dual selection and then click open. Okay, as you can see on top, two files has been opened up. So this is kind of like a basics to Photoshop as well. So how do I then make sure that I stitch them accurately? The first thing is I will double up the image that I have here. There's a few ways to do it. The first thing is you can create a new file or new project. Okay, so let me try that again. File, press new, and then you can specify the size of the A2. Okay, but and then generally what happens is that you drop the two images in that new page that you create. But there is another way that you can do it, and that is let's zoom in fact zoom out. For zooming out and in, there's a few ways to do it as well. You can control and minus on the keyboard, or you can use the mouse by pressing the keyboard control, and then you just scroll the mouse wheel and up. Okay, so when I zoom out, what I want to do is to, let's say I want to turn it sideways. I go to image, and I go rotate, image rotation, and then I'll go 90 degrees anti-clockwise. Okay, that will turn the page. I'm not really sure whether it is upside down or the other way around, but to be frank, as long as you can stitch them together accurately, it should be fine. So the next thing you do is you go to image and you go canvas size. Okay, there's a difference between image size and canvas size. Image size, when I click it, generally it changes the entire image, the size of it. So I can change the DPI or the resolution of the image, or I can change the entire size. The problem is that when I change the entire size, it's no longer A2. It's either smaller than A2 or it's bigger than A2. Okay, so I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I go to image, I go canvas size. Canvas size, the difference is that between canvas size and image size is that, as you know, image size changes the overall size of the image. Canvas size only changes the background size. The image remains the same. So if I go under percentage, okay, let's say I want it to be width-wise 200% bigger because I'm going to drop the other side in. So type in under width 200. Okay. Remember the fact is that if you were to have relative checked point, if I were to have the relative being checked, when I change width, the height will change in proportion. So I don't want to do that. So I will unclick, which is by default unclick. And I'll just increase the width to 200 and click OK. So as you can see, now the image has been expanded double. So the next thing is on the keyboard, I will press Ctrl A, which is selecting all. And under the toolbar, I will click move. In fact, it's already selected. And I'll just click the image and then move it to the side. There will be this magnetic thing that will help you to lock in to the edge of the entire page. So don't worry whether if you will be worried about having the image being exceeded beyond the page itself. So don't worry, there will be this magnetic effect to the selection of the page or moving of the page. Okay, once it's done, click the select button, which is the button below the selection, below the move button. So to deselect the selection, simply click outside the canvas. This will just cancel off the selection. So what we need to do next is to go to the other image that you have scanned, okay, and drop it into the page where you want it. So by clicking the move and clicking the image, I will move then to the other page and then just simply drop it in. So I don't really need to do like a Control V and Control C and Control V, which is copy and paste. I'll just simply drag it in. Okay. So once it's dragged in, what happens is that it automatically created a new layer here. So this is the part where you can turn off and on layers. So the new layer has been created. So if I want to turn it off, all I need to do is to click the eye symbol and it's turned off. If I want to turn on eye. Okay, simple as that. So what am I doing next? I'm going to rotate the second image so that it will fit to the other image. So how do I do that? What you need to do is to go to Edit, Transform, and Rotate. In fact, you want to do it, since it's a rectilinear shape, you want to do it in a more accurate way, which is to rotate clockwise here. Okay. There is a difference between edit, transform, and rotate here, or rotate 180 or 90 degrees. There's a difference between transform and image rotate. For the rotation under image, it will generally rotate the entire canvas. So you don't want to do that. Okay, so this is the effect of it. Let's say we turn it clockwise. See, the entire image has been rotated, which is not what we want. So Control Z to go back. Well, what we want is to go Edit, Transform, and rotate from here. Okay, so which is what we have already done. So now we need to move the image so that it fits the other image. So as you can see that we have kind of overscanned the images. So how do we place them accurately? The first thing to do is to try to overlay them on top of one another. And if you can view under layer, there is something called opacity. Okay. So turn opacity down a little bit more so that you can see the images on top of one another with an X-ray eye. Okay. So as you can see, let's zoom in. It's been see there is a lighter layer that's kind of like overlaid on top of the other image. So this is where we need to kind of like use our eyes to affix the images accurately, where we can align the drawings together. Yep, there you go. That's the way. Okay, and the next thing to do is to turn the opacity back again to 100%. Okay, so there you go. But generally, that's the way. So the next thing you do is to go to image at the top menu. Sorry, go to. So you need to escape from the transform function first. So to escape from any function at all, go to the large tool menu at the left side and just click any button. And then this dialog box will appear. It says apply the transformation. You say apply. And that's it. Oops. Yep. So the next thing you do is to go to layer, okay, under the top menu, and then go all the way down. I'm not sure whether you can see. Yep. There's a word called flatten image. You click that. So this generally flattens everything. And how do you prove that? You look at the layer. Now there's only one layer. Okay. So with this, you can either further crop it. By cropping, meaning that I don't want excessive spaces that were scanned in. So go to selection menu, which is the dotted box under the move button, and select the image. Okay. And exclude those parts that you don't want, and go to image and crop. There you go. You can further adjust the image's brightness by going to image, adjust, and brightness or contrast, and then just kind of increase the brightness a little bit more, increase the contrast so that the lines can be seen better. And okay, now you are ready to print. Okay, now it comes to printing. The first thing you do is to go file, and then under print, just click it. You'll see a dialog box. You don't really need to adjust anything. You just need to make sure that it is the right printer, HP LaserJet M806 PLC6. Just click that. And under printing settings, click that. Make sure that it is the correct number of copy that you want to print. Second, under printing shortcuts, make sure A3 is selected or any other size that you would require. Paper source, automatically select. Paper type, just leave it. Print on both sides, no. Pages per sheet is 1. Yep, so we don't really need to adjust much. Under paper quality, we can leave it as it is. Under effects, this is where you need to take note of whether if you are printing an actual size, meaning that whatever size that you have, which is currently A2, if you print it on an A3, only portion of it will come out. But if you were to click print document on A3 and click scale to fit, it will fit the entire image onto an A3, which also means that it will be shrunk. Okay. And but for some reason, just to take note of this, by doing this, it will just shrink. It will just shrink the printout to an A3 and centralize the entire image to the center of the A3 print. So it's not that accurate. I think it's partly also because our printing system was designed for two sets of programs. So after adjusting this, you need to adjust another part of the program to make sure that it fits onto an A3, which is what we wanted to do. Okay, so as for the rest, you can just leave it as default and click OK. So when you scroll down, this is the part where I think you should take note of. If you want to fit an A2 image onto an A3, this has to be clicked. Under position and size, scale to fit media. So as you can see, the preview already tells you that it will be shrunk um, to fit the entire A3. Okay, and the rest just leave it as it is and print. Let's see the results.